Okay, folks, welcome back. Saturday evening. Saturday evening edition. Well, we had a pretty successful day today. We almost got done with Hayabusa this morning. And it's looking pretty grand. It's good looking pretty good. A performance car with a heavy machine gun and a machine gun, both firing forward, and a stunt driver skill. So that's what this guy's going to be. Yeah, pretty sweet. And we almost got done with it this morning. Almost. So, we're going to finish this. And we're going to finish this in a little bit because I want to talk to you about a little bit about what happened today. It's nothing bad. But we had a Gaslands game, which I did not film. And I probably should have because it was freaking epic. It was epic. There was 4 of us playing. Everybody had 2 vehicles. And I volunteered to run the cop as well. So I had 1 vehicle plus the cop that was on the started on the opposite end. If you have the board if the board is like this, which is it's square, everybody starts this way and basically goes around to the finish line, and the cop started here. I think we had it. The cop didn't move until I don't know what we did, but anyhow, so the cop's going this way by itself, or the person pretending to be cops, and we have the biggest clusterfuck of clusterfucks at the beginning that I've ever seen. Just wham bam, thank you ma'am, all at the beginning, and a couple guys broke out. One of Luke's guys ends up getting airborne. Goes out of control, goes airborne, lands in the middle of the pack, detonates another car. I mean, it was just like it was definitely a movie moment. That's what we play for. And as Luke likes to say, that's what the crowd wants to see. That's what people want to see. Explosions. At the end of the day, everybody's dead except the cop guy. And he only has 2 points of damage left. Everybody else got wiped out. So it truly was a death race. So, yeah, pretty cool. It's a good game. It's a a real good game. And I realized that it's probably not a good idea to have more than 1 cop. Now, in this scenario, the cop is going in the opposite direction. So, they don't, they're going to pick at people as they get along. And, he ended up putting he's got the madman skill, and he ended up putting when you're within medium range, you can put a hazard from his vehicle moving on to another vehicle, and he did that to Luke. He went out of control and blew up. So that was just which was his car that was way out in the lead, Falco Rosso, which was way out there, and it just went after that. It actually did one point where he turned around and chased the one remaining guy, which was Mr. Green Scream, and he ended up going out of control, going airborne, landing on Mr. Green Scream, and crashing him. So it was really an epic game. We're definitely enjoying the hell out of the game. There's no doubt about it. So, with that said, I was done about 1:40, 1:45, something like that. It's like 7:30 right now. So I took off and went to the next town down where Vintage Toy King is at. Because I wanted some cop cars. Because you cannot find cop cars in stores. You can find them, but they're like generic looking. And I don't want any of the cop cars being the same. I don't want them to be the same police department or some generic police department or something like that. So that was what my goal is. And I searched and searched and searched, and I got about 20 things to show you guys. So I'm not really concerned because I'm really going through these quite a bit. My only concern is I need to get some Rams. But so until my order gets here of Rams, I'm going to work on the vehicles that don't have Rams. So this Nerd Burglar Mobile probably isn't going to have a Ram. This one right here with the stripes, this one's probably not going to have a Ram as well. The Camaro is, so unfortunately. So I can't finish it. The Pooper Scooper probably isn't going to have a Ram. And what else? Yeah, so not everything's going to have a Ram. As a matter of fact, I probably have too many vehicles that do have Rams. So I think next time we play, we're going to play something that's not a death race. So now that everybody's familiar with it. Okay, so what did we pick up? All right. So, and I may actually have these. So I saw these. They're on cards. These are brand new ones. It's funny because they all cost $1. Every single one of these was $1. I couldn't remember if I had this thing or not, and I may, but it's a 71 Dodge Challenger. It is just beautiful, and I may have it, but whatever, you know. If I do, I do. So Dodge Challenger 71, and this was kind of a unique one. This is a pickup truck for the Soul Brothers. There's no doubt about it. With it's lowered with with the wheels on it. But look at the front of this engine. It almost has like trumpets. What's up, Mr. Barnes? It almost has like trumpet out intakes. Something like that. Maybe it's for the Mexican lowriders. I don't know. Got the big ass rims though. Maybe it will be for the Mexican lowriders, now that I think about it. But anyways, pretty unique. Somebody got it at KB Toys for 99 cents. KB Toys was one of those stores they had in the mall. I can't remember, there was like two of them that were in the malls, always. KB and there was another one. I don't remember which one it is. Of course, they're not in malls anymore. So, but that's where I would go and get, KB Toys is where I would go get my, in the early 80s, my MPC 1/600 scale model ships, which were basically rebranded Airfix. So KB Toys, yep. This is 2003 first editions Ford F-150. Yeah, so this has been in the package for 22 years. And it's still going for $1. So, anyhow. Those are the two that I got out of the package. I specifically want to go get cop cars. I didn't find too many, but I looked through freaking everything they had. And here's one right here. I haven't even taken them out yet. This is we'll talk about what this is. It is actually a cop car that's a Charger. So for those of you guys that do not live in the United States, the Dodge Charger is basically the de facto cop car these days. It's a four-door, American car. Muscle light, I guess. Doesn't come in stick shift, only automatic only. So, and just like many Dodge brands, Dodge is really interesting that they make like Chargers and Challengers. Both of them they make in like probably 5 or 6 different trims. GT, RT, SRT, the one with the Hellcat engine, so basically you have a vehicle that goes anywhere from about $35,000 all the way up to like a $90,000, and it's like the same body. And people say, no, it's not the same car. Well, it looks the same-ish. So yeah, Dodge Charger is kind of the de facto U.S. police car now. It used to be the Crown Victoria, the Ford Crown Victoria. It used to be, before that it was the Dodge Monaco, and I don't know what the hell it is in the 50s. All those cars in the 50s look like ass, as far as I'm concerned. So it is a Charger. Let's see if we can read what the police department is on it. It is Unit 10. It is the Hot Wheels City. Okay. So, unfortunately, while I was down there, I actually found out, because we've got this Zed guy from Police Academy. I know who my next celebrity cop is going to be. And they actually make a vehicle for him. But it is not available anymore. It is a Johnny Lightning, and of course it's J.W. Pepper from Live and Let Die. They make a J.W. Pepper car with Louisiana State Police, or Sheriff, or whatever the hell he is. Whatever parish he's from. Secret agent! On whose side? So I've got to get him. Okay? But the car's not available even on eBay, you know. It's like metallic green with like one little light on the top of it. Okay? So we have a Hot Wheels City. I'm going to put them back in the bag here. Now, with that said, these are cool, and but we're not going to. And by the way, what is this thing? This is a. What year is this? 2006. 2006. So that's the thing about Matchbox and Hot Wheels. I did not know this, but Hot Wheels and Matchbox. If you go to any stores in the United States where you can get these now, I'm not talking about Vintage Toy King. That's the exception. I'm just talking about regular department stores. You're talking about your Dollar Generals. Dollar Generals, Dollar Trees, Walmart, Target, Walgreens, CVS. That's probably all the places you can get them. I've heard you can get them at gas stations. I don't go inside gas stations, right? I use my credit card at the pump. If it doesn't work, I go somewhere else. I'm not going walking. I'm not waiting in line behind people that are buying, a lifetime supply of lottery tickets and taking forever. Okay, those are basically the places. Publix, grocery stores have them. I don't know where the hell they are. I've seen people watch. I don't know where the hell they're in a grocery store. Anyways, if you go to any of those places, you're only going to find cars from 2025. Maybe some 2026s that are starting to trickle in. But you can't go and find a 2006 car. You're just not going to find it because, it would have been in the store 20 years ago or, whatever. And it's walked on. So if you want an older model, regardless of whether or not it is a collectible or anything, just you want a body style that isn't in the rotation now, you got to go to a vintage place. And, it may be that one of these vehicles is rare and worth a shitload of money. For instance, I didn't see it there again today, but they had a station wagon similar to the one that I grew up in. No. Our family car was a Ford station wagon. I don't remember what the hell it's called. Maybe a Town and Country or something like that. It was metallic green. It was four-door. And Matchbox, old school Matchbox, it was in 1968, make a Mercury, which is, the sister company of Ford. It's basically the same thing. Matchbox made one in that color, in that metallic green. I say it's like this, but it's actually has more yellow in it than this. This is more like a frog green. Ay, carajo. Don't get dinged up. So if you look for it on eBay, it'll go from like $30, $25, whatever, because it's like limited. This store had it for $10. I wasn't gonna buy it, but I was curious that it was like, oh, that's the station wagon that I had growing up, or I didn't have it. My parents did. Okay, so Dodge Charger, cop car. All right, what else we got here? I couldn't remember if I had this thing or not, but I like it. It is a El Camino, 1968 El Camino with some flames and the engine's back here. I guess it has a second engine because the engine in the El Camino is here. So, yeah, pretty sweet. It's got a couple chips here, couple chips here. Other than that, and it's old school Matchbox. I mean, Matchbox Hot Wheels, 1999. 1999. El Camino. I may actually have that one. I don't know. I have too many. But I was there. All right, where's that Tritarch? Tritarch, here's your towing truck. This is I think this is a no brand one. Let me open this and see what we got. Man, I got so many bags, I can start selling cocaine again. I'm kidding, folks. I just run guns and liquor. It's a Hot Wheels made in China. That's odd. Ford Transit Wrecker. And man, this thing has grommets galore. Has 6 of them. Deluxe towing, radio dispatch, Kevin's 24-hour towing. So now we got a tow truck. All right, now we got another cop. This one is a sheriff. What vehicle is this? Is this a Crown Vic? No. Doesn't say what it is. Thailand, 1989. Hot Wheels County. Well, 240 was better than 420. Leave a trail of smoke if it's 420. Both lights are red. That's not going to fly. We're going to have one's going to be blue, one's going to be red. Two lights red, that's a fire chief car. Pretty basic car here. Oh my god, it has a steering wheel on the British side. What? I'm not supposed to notice. Well, that means this must be some... I don't know what the hell it is. I'm going to have to cover the windows so we don't see that. I'll have trouble sleeping at night with that. Doesn't look like a British vehicle. Hot Wheels County. I didn't know that was in Britain. It's not. It's in Australia. Okay, whatever. All right, what else we got? Oh, this was cool. I'm rummaging, and this pile of cars is literally like huge, and there's 3 bins, so I'm literally like having to move them out, and I'm glad they're in these baggies so they don't bang into each other. I looked at this car, and I'm like, oh my god, this looks like the car of Cruella de Vil, and sure enough, it's Cruella de Vil, 2018. I've always liked that car ever since I was a kid. You know that crazy ass bitch driving all over the place. This thing's gonna be sweet. It's gonna be like Evil Bitch or something like that. I don't know. Sweet. I think it's based like on Duesenberg or something. I don't know. Pretty sweet. Even got the mean eye. Cool. I didn't know they made that. Like, gotta pick that up. Bye. Jeez. Do all my own stunts here, folks. I could have spent longer there, but it's like really low. I ended up hurting my back. I'm still wild. I picked this up. I have no idea what the hell this is, but it has a Union Jack on it, so I was sold. I like the Union Jack. It's a pretty flag. Okay, London Circuit City Race. And you got some Stig-looking guy there. The Stig. Monoposto. Yeah, we're not going to call it that. Monoposto. It's got Big Ben, and we got some Houses of Parliament and stuff like that on the side here. This is just asking for some big cannon to be right here. Some long-ass cannon. So... not bad. Not bad. Not available in stores. What year is this one? 2000. Londonium. Okay. What else do we got? This thing was like brand new. It's a 2010 Boulevard Bruiser, but it's obviously it looks like it's a Boss Mustang. And it's like all Miami, it's like a flaming Miami Vice thing. Oh, it's shiny. We got a wheel we can see back in here. It's a cool car. It's a cool car. Oh. Oh, it's got a what? Ah. Right over a stickum. There we go. Nice looking car. Yeah, see, if I repaint that, we'll lose these flames. It's got flames on it, so it's got to have a flamethrower. That's the rules. I don't make them up. Rules that make sense. All right. Don't everybody type at once. You know, the place is, it's 35 miles south of where I used to live. It's the next town down. It's smaller than Gainesville, but, you know, I was already there. A Porsche. Porsches are always in style. I believe this is a 959 Porsche. Am I right? It doesn't say. I believe this is a 959. I'm probably not going to take this car apart because why? You know, this is actually going to look pretty good. Now, it's got a little Hot Wheels logo back here that doesn't really need to have it. Let's see if we can kill that on the fly. This dry erase thing doesn't really work that well. They claim, oh, it's like a miracle. You can get the things off. No, you can't. I'm not wiping it off. I'm just going over it and over it and over and over it, and then maybe it'll work. Yeah, I got most of it. I got a vintage Matchbox space station set off eBay. The only vintage part was the dirt, the grime on it, and battery leakage. Gonna need a good soak up to clean it up. You've seen that guy that like refixes things, right? I gotta be on the lookout for that J.W. Pepper car. That's too cool. That's one of my favorite Bond movies, too. For $20, I'll take you to a Ku Klux Klan cook-off. Okay, got rid of that. Yay! A Porsche. Another German dickhead. Can't have enough German dickheads. I mean, other people could drive a Porsche, but look, we got German cars. Germans are going to be driving German cars, you know? All right, this thing, I have one of these. It's right over here, a Torino. Okay, I love this car, and I'm not big on like American muscle cars, but I mean, other than the chrome interior on this bastard, I mean, who the fuck do you think you are? The Silver Surfer? Got freaking chrome interior on this thing. I mean, the wheels look nice. Got a nice stripe here. Got nice tail lights that haven't been painted in. It's a beautiful vehicle. What year is this bastard? It's a Torino Sport. Oh, excuse me. 72 Gran Torino Sport, 2010. Okay. Interesting undercarriage color, you know? Yeah, kit bash some parts. So this store actually had, when I was talking to him, I talked to the owner, I said, hey, listen, I did an unboxing. I know you don't do any online stuff, but, you know, I love coming in here. I mean, there's so many cool things. There's some things that are $15, $20, $30, $50 as well. You know, I'm not going to collect them. You know, these are all $1. I'm fine with any of these. I don't care that they're collectible. We're going to do stuff to them, right? We're going to increase their value, hopefully. And he said, oh, well, did you see those big grab bags? I said, what are you talking about? Oh, well, underneath there. And he had these bags that were probably a gallon size bag. They might even been bigger than a gallon. And these had all kinds of cars in them. And they were like $10. And they're all junk, beat up cars. So I looked in there was like rigs and there was all kinds of smorgasbord of things. And I'm like, I was already checking out and I'm like, you know, I got to leave something for next time. But there's a lot of junk in there too. So I don't really want to have, and I don't care if cars are trashed. I don't want to hit them with a hammer. I feel bad. I feel bad, especially after the couple of them that I took that were damaged, the cop car and the sun, whatever the hell it's called, the sun burner. They came out beautiful, you know. So anyhow, so we got that. And here's an old school car right here. This is a Hot Wheels. This is old school Hot Wheels. It says Mean Green Racing Team on it. And old wheel, because look at these wheels. Look at these old school wheels. I even thought it was a Matchbox, but no, this is a 1982. (1982). It's gonna be some. It's gonna be a red. This is gonna be a redneck. Oh, geez, what's wrong here? What in the snuffleupagus is going on here? It's cattywampus. Now we're gonna have to take it apart and find out what in the blue blazes is going on here. I think that straightened out. It was just kind of jammed in one place or another. Yeah, but I knew this was an old school. I'm like, you can always use another pickup truck. This looks like an S10, a Chevy S10. It looks like. What the grill looks like. Okay. Number 5 is alive! Remember, I want the idea of getting cop cars. I've gotten 2 so far. Yeah, I'm going to drive 30 miles there and 30 miles back. I'm going to make it worth my while. All right, I got this thing. I have no idea what the hell this is. Where are you Japanese experts? Look at this thing. I have no idea what the hell this thing is. Hot Wheels. It's some kind of samurai thing. It's going to be one of those Japanese things. Obviously, it's a made-up vehicle. Okay. 1994. State-of-the-art thing, whatever it is. I don't know what the hell this says on the side. Like, you dumbass white boy for buying this. I don't know. Looks pretty cool. Looks pretty cool. Got some kind of samurai dude on it. I guarantee I'll make it look cooler than it looks right now. I have no idea. So one of them, Team Nip. Okay, this vehicle. So there's one of the skills in the game that basically it's called Hot Start. And Hot Start, what you can do is you can start in any gear. So you start, everybody's normally in gear 1. You could be in gear 6 if you wanted to. Well, assuming this car goes up to gear 6. And I'm like, I'm going to have a car with a huge engine on it. This is going to have a Hot Start. This thing right here. It's got a wang on it. This is going to be a buggy with a hot start. What is this thing considered? A Fiat 500C. Well, this doesn't look anything like a Fiat. Fix it again, Tony! That's the kind of stuff you're after? The old one or the Japanese, like... Fix it again, Tony. This is going to be a hot start vehicle. So, pretty cool. 1999. Okay, what else we got in here? We still got a few more. This is a Honda CRX. I got it basically because of the decals on it. It looks nice. It's got these graphics on it that are nice. I mean, I wouldn't drive a vehicle with that much advertising on it, but almost looks like it's got a wash on it. Almost like it was painted with what are those paints called? Those those new paints they have for beginners. Kind of looks like that. This is a 2018 '88 Honda CRX. Okay. Next. Okay, I didn't know what this was because I am going to have a set of vehicles for like the desert and jungle rallies and shit like that. I already have some of them, and I saw contrast paints. That's exactly right. This is an odd brand. This is a Metal Machines Zuru Made in China. And, well, the front of it looks like a Jeep Wagoneer. Remember those Jeep Wagoneers? That's what the front of it looks like. It's like a lifted Jeep Wagoneer. I have a metallic brown undercarriage. That's kind of cool. What does it say on the side? Metal Force? Metal Force. It's hardly readable, so by the time we're done with it, you won't be able to read it. It'll have some writing on it, but it doesn't really matter. Pretty cool. That's a good Rutherford vehicle. I'm not doing Rutherford. Rutherford's stupid sounding. There's some cowboy with a freaking mustache. It's some Blackwater looking thing. Yeah, no, that's not my shtick. You use the Jeep? Yeah, that's cool. All right. Here's a cop car. It's just weird. I got a couple of weird cop cars, and this is one of them. It's a Hot Wheels Pursuit 2012, and it looks like a station wagon with like a freaking jet on the back. That's it. That's all I can say about it. And then this one's got 2 blue lights. The other cop car has 2 reds. This has 2 blues. Can we get a red and a blue? I mean, that's what the cops normally use. I don't know if I'm going to keep the back that way, or we may modify that somehow. One of them is going to be officer friendly. So officer friendly here in the United States, kids are in grade school, like 5th grade or whatever. Like once a year, they would have this police officer that would come to the school. I don't know if they still do this or not. But when I was a kid, you know, when people actually respected police officers, he would come to the school and just kind of fly the colors, you know. And they always would call him officer friendly. You know, he might have been, you know, Officer Jacobs or whatever, but he was the officer-friendly guy. He would, you know, put on a good face for the kids. All right, this has Mitch written all over it. This is something that looks like a PT Cruiser, but it's an older vehicle. Looks like the vehicle that a PT Cruiser is based on. I don't know if this opens or not. Oh my, it might not. It might, oh, it does. The engine opens. So I might actually remove this and just leave the engine exposed. But anyways, it's Dawn of the Road Zombies. And it's got some zombies on there. Off to town next weekend, toy hunting. It is fun as hell looking through cars. Even if you don't buy one, it is just fun. It is fun. It's absolutely fun. Yeah. Now, one thing I've noticed is a lot of these hot rods have this little thing on the back. And I don't know if that's a catch, so when they go, you know, it doesn't flip all the way over. It looks like one of those little, you know, the little things you sit on the ground so you can slide underneath there? You know, like you lay on your back, you do the oil change. That's what it looks like. And I don't know if that's what it's supposed to be. I have a feeling it's like a catch for when you gun it. You know, you don't go past this point. You don't, you know, flip it over and you end up like that, you know. And it looks like it's got a parachute or something here. But this isn't that fast. This isn't that fast. But it's got zombies on it. This actually looks like Gollum or something like that. I don't know. Doesn't say what it is, which means it probably came out of a set of something. But it's got a little visible engine there. I should do some gaming videos. I may and I may not. The big reason against doing it is we're getting a lot of shit wrong. And we don't care. We're being consistent how we apply it, but, you know, we're forgetting things. So, maybe in a little bit. A lot of really interesting things happen in the games. There's no doubt about it. Especially the one today. The one today was insane. All right, here is a whacked out police vehicle. This may end up being a dollar I pissed away. Okay, this is a Roke Hog, not Rogue Hog, Roke Hog. And this is weird, this red thing. Now, I've used some crazy colored windows and just tinted them with with some of the quick shades, and it worked. You should also change your account name. Well, I'm not going to do that. No, because it's consistent. And it's about painting figures and stuff. Yeah, it looks like there's a cockpit for one in there. So I don't know what the hell this is. If this is some kind of, I don't know what this is going to end up being. But, you know, I tried picking up every police vehicle they have. All right. Still got more. This thing. So one of the teams is going to be, I've already talked about it, is going to be Nerd Burglars. I've got a Marvel car for them, you know, comic book nerds. And this is, this guy has science written on it. Trust the science! Yeah, freaking science nerds. Looks pretty cool. I like the graphics on it. It'll paint up pretty well. Yeah, I got like four nerd vehicles now. All right, what else we got? Got 3 more? 4 more. 4 more, okay. One of you guys was mentioning, hey, you should do a Car 54. I'm like, well, I never saw that show. But we now have a Car 54. So. And this is a Hot Wheels 1993 Malaysia. And the graphics are not very, they're chipped up a little bit, but it'll end up being fine. This looks like a Chevy Lumina, maybe? Maybe it's an Oldsmobile. Honestly. Yeah, the real taillight looks like an Oldsmobile. So, that's a standard looking police car. No lights though. Lights are inside somewhere. Blinding the driver. Alright. This thing's kind of cool. Oh, and stay on the ground. These type of vehicles. This looks like it needs to have a BFG. This needs to be the vehicle that carries the BFG. It's very front heavy. It says fire department. Yeah, fire department ain't gonna carry it. This ain't no fire department vehicle. This is a 1988, and it's like got like a big hoser or whatever. Well, it actually could work as a flamethrower, to be honest with you. Some turret flamethrower or something. Ah, it looked unique. I saw what the hell, you know. All my fire department vehicles that I get will be flamethrowers. I know, irony. Who the hell fell? Oh, this thing. I got this only because of the graphics on it. And I don't think I have one of these. Ever use Life Color paints? They don't have them here. My favorite paints that they don't have here, of all of them that are British paints, are Cote d'Arms. I love Cote d'Arms. Cote d'Arms paints are incredible. This thing. Alright, this is going to be hard to see because there's no more chrome on here than God. But we actually have a skull here on the front. And it looks like it's got hands. Okay. Some kind of Jeep or something. And last but not least, yes, it's an off-color joke. You're going to have to deal with it. That's what this is, an off-color channel. I saw this, I'm like, Oh, it's a pirate. The Isle of Hot Wheels. I said, well, I know what kind of pirates these guys are going to be. And I'm going to leave it at that. But this is the same vehicle as the zombie thing. So, I don't know if this is the case in Britain, but for some reason, people in the United States have a hard-on for pirates. I don't know why. Pirates, Vikings, all those kind of people. Like, I'm sorry, my ancestors fought pirates. Not really interested in pirate dudes. Okay. That's it. So, pretty cool. Almost everything is in pretty good shape. I just went there to get the cop cars. I ended up getting 4, I think. But, it's a drive, so you might as well get some other stuff. I don't know what his turnaround on things are. I know that he buys things from other people, but if I go there in a month, I was there like a month ago, and I don't know that I saw any of this stuff before. But we got 1, 2, 3, 4 police vehicles. This thing is insane. I don't know what the hell this thing is. So, all right. So let's put this stuff away and work on Hayabusa. Hayabusa! And there's loose cars. There's probably 600 other loose cars, maybe even more than 600 that I didn't choose. That's how much inventory he has. He has a lot. He has a lot of inventory. And like I said, I don't mind the older cars because you go to the store, you're only going to find 2025s and 2026s. That's the loud dishwasher. The uppity dishwasher. Okay, so where did we leave this off? We got the headlights done. Got the headlamps done. We have no weathering on it yet. I think we're almost done with the weathering. We're gonna splooge this together and glue it. I'm not gonna put a driver in here. The back bumper is good. I think we're ready to seal this thing up and put the guns and glue them on the top. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to keep this pace going of getting a car done about every other day. Which honestly is pretty impressive. Alright, we need more ammo. We need more ammo. Okay. So. Gorilla glue sticks. Well, we're putting it down on these things. I'm certainly getting my use out of the hot glue gun, that's for sure. Yeah, this thing's going to end up looking pretty good after all. I kind of ran out of steam and, what is this thing called anyways? A Hako something? Hako Type D. I believe this is a 2024, so there's actually a 2024 in the store. Hako Type D, I believe, is a make-believe vehicle. Designed by Brian Zhao and released in 2025, it is a retro-realistic Japanese-style coupe inspired by 1980s vehicles like the Toyota AE 86. I can see that. Mazda RX-7. No, it looks like a Nissan. What was that car that you used to have? Pulsar. A Pulsar. Mazda RX-7 and Nissan Silva. It didn't look anything like a Silva. The Hako Type D features details like pop-down headlights, a sunroof, and is part of various series including the Hot Wheels J Imports collection. Yeah, and mine was red, but they also make it in white. The white one actually has. The red one actually, I don't think I had any graphics or anything on there. This one has 99 written on it. So. Alright, let's fire this thing up. So no, I've never used live color paints because I've never seen them in a store. And somebody told me today that they think that they're discontinuing Army Painter paints, and that would suck because we've gotten really used to using these tones. They're better than Agrax Earthshade, but you know if they go away, I'll have to come up with something else. We will survive. But I went to the game shop in the town that this is in, and they were out of dark tone and strong tone. So they had lots of other colors, but I'm like, well, I don't want the other colors if I can't get those two. That's the two colors I want. All right, so we're going to let's glue these tires, and the gluing that I did the other day worked really well. So we're going to take some super glue. We're going to pull the tire out, and we're going to squeeze some of that in. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Pull it out, squeeze, and then we will push these two together. Okay, and that should be enough to hold it. Same thing on this one. Pull it out. Pull it out. And then smush it. Okay, and that should end up holding it. All right, what do we got here? We've got not really anywhere for this to glue. I guess I could glue it here, and it's out of the view. Put a dot here, and put a dot there and a dot here. Hopefully this will all hold together. Snap it shut. Now we're going to take this stuff and close the vault. Smells like a roach spray a little bit. Don't like the smell of roach spray. Still smells better than marijuana though. Okay. That looks good. Let's close this up. And we are going to put the machine guns here at the top. We're going to go ahead and glue them. They're fixed forward. That one's going to go like so. And then this one will be up here. And it's a mystery how we get ammo up there. That's not part of... You don't need to worry about that. You need to just drive. Now, based on what I've learned on the other one, I'm not a big fan of using this super glue on it because I got to act quick. I think that's the old AP paints being discontinued. Fanatic line still going strong. Okay, well this is a Fanatic. One of these is a Fanatic and one of them isn't. So it looks like it's available in both of them. So maybe it's okay. So I shouldn't freak out then, huh? I'll find another reason to freak out. They're great, and they cut great with water. And they don't, you know, some things you cut them with water and they just kind of separate. No, they're not these. I've been really happy with them. All right, I'm going to use the green. The green is the adjustable one, and it takes a little too long to freaking dry. But I'm not going to get stuck with a gun that's off at a weird angle. Hold on a second. Let's jack this thing up. Let me get a height advantage. I need some better LOS on this thing. Okay, and then over here, War Painter is the one going. War Paints. So quick, the Army Painter Quick Shade is going. Well, they have them in both then. So if that's the case, then we're still good. I actually don't love their paints. Their washes are incredible. Their washes are superb. Doesn't mean I won't use them. They don't cover as well as I would want them to. All right, so we've got both machine guns glued on the rooftop. Hey, Hayabusa. Oh. All right, we need some black lining on the taillights. Let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, I'm safe. Good. I'm safe for now. No, this stuff is great. Okay, a little bit of dark tone. Oh, I was getting ready to mail order like 20 bottles of it. Yeah, you could make it, but I need to delegate some stuff. You know, I always want you to delegate stuff at work. Well, I'm delegating this. That's just superb. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, look at the difference here between one side and the other. And of course, you're getting the shine from this, so you're not going to getting it 100%, but the contrast, that's what you want. You want to be able to see those things at 3 feet away. Beautiful. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Now, I'm going to go down a size, and I'm going to do this around the headlamps that I did. With some nice contrasting around it. There we go. Yeah, make that pop. Put the mascara on this thing. don't know if these machine guns are completely glued down or not. Now, I actually thought about getting a soldering iron to make the paperclip stuff. The problem with the paperclip is that it's very smooth, and I have to use super glue to stick it together. So I actually don't know how durable the paperclip ram on the police vehicles is going to be. I reinforced it with some hot glue. Hopefully we're all right. This thing looks stellar. I'm really happy with this. And the front of it totally looks like a Subaru SV. What did we say it was? SVZ? Yeah. Subaru SVZ. Time for some weathering. What's up, Justin? Some weathering on this thing, do the rustification, and we're done. I mean, other than sealing it. What's up, man? You having a beer for me? I don't remember last time I had a drink. We normally, like Halloween, we normally have a drink on Halloween. We sit there and like watch the kids come up. When the daughter was little, we'd take a drink around the neighborhood. You know, they did go to the houses, and we'd, you know, sit in the middle of the street and walk with them. And Halloween's always been like a drinking thing. I don't remember last time I had a drink. You know, keeps me from having a headache. You know, like I said, I need to drink at work. You know, I can't, so I don't need to drink at home. I got no problems here. You know. All right, we have Iraqi sand, chocolate brown, and the old U.S. field drab. So we're going to start with chocolate brown. My wife got invited to something, so I'm all alone. Not that it would affect anything. I mean, you know, well, I'd probably, if she was here, we probably would have watched some TV together, and then I'd split off and do this. Okay, let's see what we got. Let's see if we have one of these that we can. Yeah, this one should be good. You did a short video on some miniatures I'm working on. Yes, drinking Jamaican red stripe beer. So let me have you a story about Jamaican red stripe beer. The last time I had it was a while ago. I don't have anything against it, but we were in Jamaica. Well, that was a long time ago. Now that I think about it, it was on our anniversary, on our honeymoon. It's almost 25 years ago. It was the last time I had red stripe, and I had one. We had just gone horseback riding in Jamaica, and one of the stops on the cruise. And what was the name of my horse? Yellow Man. Yellow Man was the name of my horse. And what was the wife's name of the horse? I don't remember. But I had Yellow Man. He was a yellow horse. Anyways, we stopped, and they had Jamaican beer or whatever. And I remember there being flies everywhere. Now, I don't know where you're at, Justin, but you don't normally have flies anymore. Like, when you were a kid, you know, you'd have a picnic, flies would just appear. Well, we don't have picnics anymore as an adult, so it's rare to see flies, unless you're playing like in a trash dump. You know, but you got horses, you know, and horses get stinky, and they got parts on them that flies like to go, you know, so that attracts the flies. Anyways, flies were everywhere, and I have a feeling that a fly landed on the tip of my thing, of the thing. And anyway, so the next day I felt like shit. You know, I was like, it just lasted one day. Maybe it's bullshit, but it's awfully coincidental. I see flies and I felt like crap the next day, which was Cayman Islands. Yeah, I felt like nauseous and shit like that. Yeah, flies. You don't see flies any. Not really. Flies aren't really a thing anymore. Flies are like a thing from the 1970s that's been cured. All right, so we're gonna weather this in here, so it makes it look like it's been lived in. This thing's gonna look stellar. Short video images you're working on? Okay. I'll have to check that out, man. I'm sorry I haven't checked out your videos. I know you have a couple ones on there. But I'm bad about it because, I mean, shit, I don't even watch 3D bot makers ones. I mean, I've got like a whole year or something I haven't seen it. It's not, you know, you get busy, you know, so. I don't know that I've made very many videos last year, enough to warrant like redoing my subscription to my video editor. I'm probably still going to renew it because if I do a video, I wouldn't want to use anything other than that video editor. But I just don't do videos. I just don't do videos anymore. You know, it's kind of like people don't watch them. So, I mean, unless it's something I definitely... Like, I don't care if people don't watch this that we're doing right now, because this is helping me, right? But if I'm doing a video, it doesn't help me. It's for the rest of you. And if I don't, like, feel like I get enough people that watch it, I'm like, man, I'm wasting my time. I could just be doing a live show. You know, it's not like I want to do stuff in private and not show you guys. It's just, if I'm doing this and, like, 2 people watch it, okay, perfect. I still need to do this, you know? We have a lot of flies in Michigan, especially out in the rural country. Yeah, I rarely see them. All the flying roaches must eat them here. We saw I had a friend that was over by the door the other day. I think the day before it got cold. We had this little guy here. Let's see if I can find him. I'm not a bug person, but there's some bugs that are cooler than others. And this might be a terrible bug, okay? This might be something that eats a bunch of plants, but I wasn't going to do anything to him. And it's a katydid. And his body was about this long. And he was bright green, like Kermit the Frog. And I took a picture of him. My wife says, oh, he's been out there since I came home. So he was sitting on one spot for like 4 or 5 hours. Just sitting down the side of the hardy board on the house. You should have kept your version of Halloween over there, along with baby showers, baby reveals, not your best imports. Hey, I'm not responsible for shit like that, okay? I'm not. You can't blame me. Should have kept your version. What's our version of Halloween? Baby reveals. That's like after me. Like baby reveals weren't a thing. Like, you know, baby reveals weren't a thing. All the sins of the United States will be paid for. Yeah, it's your fault. See, what is the United States import that I'm imposed to? Lots of stuff. I'm not going to get into it, but I'm old school, so. These influencers. What kind of horseshit is that? Well, you're an influencer. Am I? I don't know. I'm just doing a stupid fucking hobby and, you know, helping each other out. You can do whatever you want. I'm not pushing any products or anything. now when we get to this mid-range, now we'll start actually putting some of this on some of the edges. That's what happens. You start dusting up, and it'll catch on these edges. Trust me, I work in a dusty place. Okay, now we got to do Iraqi sand. Yeah, that camouflage looks freaking superb. You know, it wasn't what I was expecting when I first saw it. Everything getting over commercialized. Yep. Yep. What do I hate? I hate everybody being a pussy. Oh, you can't say the P word. I just did. When did everybody become a fucking pussy? I'm sure the same thing happened in Britain. Like I said, I went on that trip to Spain, go to Gibraltar. There's not a single freaking British ship in Gibraltar. What kind of bullshit is that? You know? What kind of bullshit is that? Oh, we don't have the money for it. I'm sure you guys spend money on something better than having a couple of ships down there. You know? It's embarrassing. You know? I'm a traditionalist, right? I understand tradition. Like, tradition is important to my psyche. Now, there's some things that people did in the past that aren't the thing to be the proudest of, but everybody was fucking doing them, you know. Somebody posted a meme for Columbus Day, and I'm putting that on my Facebook page. I gotta show you guys. There's a boat. There's a boat. A boat. How is the Tootie McBoatface or Bodie McBoatface? Come on, man. At least a frigate or destroyer. Those new destroyers you guys have look funky, though. You know which ones I'm talking about. They look weird. They look really, really weird. Where's this thing somebody sent me that I freaking love this? It's hilarious. I think it's hilarious. You know, and if you don't find this funny, well, you need to grow a pair. Where is this? My regular viewers won't have a problem with this. Where is it? I don't know where this came from. We are not sorry. Hey, the sacrifices stopped, didn't they? Yeah, and there's all these guys were dickheads, but you know what? They're less than the dickheads that were here. You know? If the Aztec Empire weren't a bunch of fucking assholes, they probably wouldn't have. All their neighbors wouldn't have sided with my ancestors and put an end to them. You know? And if we hadn't done that, Britain would have gone down there and done it, or, you know, the French. Oh, God help us. Oh, man. Oh, looks sweet. This looks sweet. Like, you know, all this, like I would, you know, I would put Rising Sun stuff on it and everything, but it's like, you know, those guys really were fucking assholes. Now, I like the Rising Sun symbol and everything, but, you know, and they don't apologize for shit. Now, one thing I like about Japan, now I haven't been to Japan, but one thing I can appreciate about Japan is Japan does not want their country to turn into something they don't want it to turn into. And I like that. I like, you know, and it's okay. It's not that one country's better than the other, but, you know, it's like, let's let you have a... Now, the U.S., not really, because we are a melting pot of different things, you know, but, I mean, other places, like, you know, be proud of who you were, you know, and, you know, you could say, hey, well, we wouldn't do that shit now, but, you know. I said before, I'm not anti-British, You know? Actually, my ancestor didn't even have a problem with the British. It was the English they had a problem with. No, it's all cool. Yeah, you guys shouldn't suck up to all Americanisms that much. Like, keep your own identity, man. There's lots of bad ideas over here. There's some good ones, but the problem with commercialization is buy, 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 buy. And no matter what you buy, it's not good enough. They still want you to buy more. And I'm like, no, no, no. Capitalism can be, too much. Okay, other than adding the rust, this thing's gorgeous. This thing is, I'm really impressed. And I wanted this to look like a KI 43 ish, like it's influenced by that. I gotta do whatchamacallit's car soon though. I haven't touched it because I don't think I have to do a lot to it. What am I calling it? The Wet Willie. I think I'm calling it the Wet Willie. Instead of Wet Nelly, I'm calling it Wet Willie. Oh, this is interesting. The window's only open on this side. It's only open on the driver's side. It's closed on the other one. All right. Tony's Tones. What's the name of the ship on Station Gibraltar? And the British ships have the best fucking names. They really do. They really do. Not every British ship has a great name, but the best named ships are British. Illustrious and all those kind of those adjectivical names are awesome. I'm a big fan. I love playing British Navy in World War II. Love it. Soft tone, mid-brown soft tone, and but it's like Churchill. I'm sure there's people in Britain that hate Churchill. Well, he might have done some wrong things, but if he wasn't there, the world would not be a better place. I'll just leave it at that. Just like my ancestors were fucking assholes and cruel and everything. But if they hadn't toppled the people in Mexico, the world would not be as good a place. Sometimes you gotta fight fire with fire. All right. Except I wouldn't give him Stalin shit. I'd be like, fuck Stalin. Like, you made a deal with that freaking Fuhrer, now you die and rot in that. And FDR had a Woody for freaking Stalin. Alright, we're going to put some drippings here. They just happen. Not too much. This is using some kind of DeLorean steel or something like that. I don't know. Let's wipe that off. Let's make sure we go straight. There we go. I'm starting to run into this problem. Every new vehicle I do, I'm like, oh, this is my favorite vehicle now. I'm glad I came back and put a pin in this thing and came back to it. Because I was really kind of bummed out about it. But sometimes you just got to get out of that analysis paralysis. Like, I don't know if this is going to turn out well, so I won't do anything about it. How about jump in and paint your way out? And I got to remember that. It doesn't happen to me very often, but it does happen to me. And there's a lot of things that I'm not very good at, but turning things around and fixing things to my liking when it comes to these miniatures is definitely something that I've learned to be pretty happy with the results that I've gotten. And that's important because otherwise, if the creator gets discouraged, he's not going to create anymore. So, this thing is freaking cool. This thing is freaking cool. This is cool. And unfortunately, I'll take pictures of it and it won't look as good as it does to me. And the human eye is just, even with mine that needs readers and stuff like that, but the human eye is pretty amazing. It can see all kinds of subtleties of color that, I've taken a picture before and been like, man, it looks great. And then it does some kind of tiny little adjustment, and it makes everything look not as great. I think this is done. Now, let me see if I can take a picture of this. It's not good. It doesn't do it justice. It doesn't do it justice. It looks better than this in real life. But this looks pretty good. It's a lot better than freaking red. So this is Hayabusa. Front-firing heavy machine gun, front-firing machine gun, and for 7 points, the stunt driver skill. And the stunt driver skill, basically you can avoid obstructions. You just play like they're not there. Of course, you end up taking like 3 hazards or something for them. So, but if you have like a wall or something, obviously not the outer wall, you could just drive through it. You know, I don't know if this will come in handy. You know, but the whole idea is for the cars to be different from each other and play them different from each other. And sometimes the car that plays a certain way will be in the right place at the right time. You know. So, okay. So this is Hayabusa. I'm going to seal her, which will change how it looks, usually for the better, almost always. Hey, Hayabusa. All right. What time is it? 8:45. We're not done yet. We're on a tear. We're on a bloody tear. All right. What do we got over here to work on? Torino. Not the Torino yet, because the Torino is going to have something that is coming for it. Let's look at this high-tech thing. All right, let me get all the pieces that go to this high-tech thing. Now, it has SB written on it, which, the first thing I think of is stupid bastard. But, you can't name, I don't really want another vehicle named such and such bastard. Or it's going to sound like I'm, speed bastard. All right, let's get the bottom part of this thing. What is this thing called? It's not the Ford Focus. Oh, we also have this guy down here, too. Dart. There's the Torino. It's not Speed Bump. It's not the Drag Merc. It's not the Jester. This is probably the thing for it, though. Is that correct? No. Okay. Not that one. Gotta go. All right. This has gotta go. Let's put gotta go with it. This is the glass for this one. All right. That's Jester. Jester's this. Super Blitzen. That's what this is. This is Super Blitzen. This is the body to Jester. The insides. This is the inside of the Barbie thing. Here's the Barbie Dream thing. Those go together. Does Super Blitzen have an interior? It won't be that, won't be that. Won't be that. It may not have an interior, now that I think about it. It's not this one, or what the hell does this go to then? I feel like it should be this thing. Yeah, there we go. It's just a really tight fit. Oh, Super Blitzen SB. Okay, well, we're not going to call it that. We're going to call it something else. Now, this is obviously a performance car. Obviously. And we've got some, when we took this apart, it melted some of this, so we're going to need to get our X-Acto and trim this off. And let's remove this. Yeah, the undercarriage was yellow. That's not going to fly. I mean, if that's a fruity ass car. Super Blitzen. All right. Let me just do something just for yucks. Need a name for a Gaslands car that's futuristic and it is a performance vehicle and it has a name that starts with S and has B in it. All right, Chat GPT, do your magic. I don't let Chat GPT make decisions, but it helps unclog things. Okay, here's several Gasland car name ideas that sound futuristic, high performance, and meet your starts with S and include a B requirement. Solar Bolt, Synth Blade, Stormbite, Skyburner, Starblade, Steel Burst, Speedbreaker, Shockburn, Scarab Boost, Slipburn, Centibolt, Sonic Bloom, Silver Bit, Silver Starbite, Spectre Blade. Those are all good ideas. Those are all good ideas. So let's see what kind of weapons we can have with this thing. Okay. So I'm gonna put this away so I don't trip over it, and I'm gonna go get my rule book. And I'd like to put a weapon on here we haven't used yet. So I'm going to go all the way to the back. Go all the way to the back. And we're going to look at weapons. All right. We have not used... Oh, these are only Michigan-sponsored teams only. Well, I don't give a shit about that, okay? We have not used an arc lightning projector, and I'd like to know what the frickin' thing does, okay? It's 2 build slots, so that's the only weapon this thing would have if we do that. Arc lightning projector has double range and a 66 ammo 1 electrical. That's it. Okay? Death Ray. So, Death Ray is not a Michigan weapon. So, okay, so maybe a Death Ray would be good. Double range, 3d6, ammo 1, special rule 73. All right, we'll look at that. Death Ray is a possibility. Grav gun, that's a Michigan thing. Ammo 1. Kinetic Super Booster. That's a Michigan thing. Magnetic Jammer, that's a Michigan thing. Thumper, that's a Michigan thing. Alright, so let's see what the hell Death Ray is. See Special Rule 73. Yep. Death Ray. Michigan-sponsored teams only. If this weapon scores 5 or more uncancelled hits on the target during a single attack, instead of causing damage, the target car is immediately removed from play. Although that counts as being... Wow! Okay. Well, alright. So it's 3d6. The only way you're going to get 5 or more uncancelled hits is if you got to roll some doubles. So the most it can roll, if you roll all 6s with the 3 dice, is 6 hits. So I guess if 2 of the dice roll 6s and 1 of them rolls a hit, or some kind of combination like that, and nobody cancels and you have 5 of them, the car is just removed from play. Otherwise it does damage. Okay. That's kind of cool. And the only reason I say that is I've got some weapons that look funky like that I haven't used. This is an ultra modern funky looking thing, so I at least wanted to see what the options are like that. There was one arc lightning projector. Now what is the ammo? It says ammo 1, so you only get to fire at 1 time? That's stupid. Arc lightning projector. The arc lightning projector is a dangerous weapon that can arc electricity across multiple conductive targets. After damaging a target, this vehicle must immediately attack another target within short range and 360-degree arc of fire of the current target. Okay, so it hops. This chain reaction continues until a weapon fails to damage a target. There are no further viable targets. This vehicle can target friendly vehicles, the arc lightning projector. This vehicle cannot target the same vehicle twice in an attack step. Okay. Or we could just put a combat laser on it. You know, combat lasers all right. Put some heavy caliber Russian machine guns. Does it look Russian to you? I do have AK looking things. Well, let's see. It has 2 build slots. So which of these weapons has only 1 build slot? Okay, the Death Ray uses only 1. What if we put a combat laser on it and the Russian machine gun that you mentioned? Now, it's a 15-point vehicle. The laser is going to be 5. So now we're up to 20. Let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got here. Can you use energy blast? No. No, it doesn't have that in there. I mean, they could behave as something else. I got some AKs here. I've got a pair that are like side by side. I'm going to put those on the Camaro. That's going to go on the Camaro like this. But there's other AK variant looking things. Let me find it. That thing's kind of cool to go with the stripe. Got M60s that are oversized. No, I guess I used both of these. This was like a smorgasbord pack. No, here it is. Here's one. Here's one. It's an AK with a banana clip. Which is, you know, oversized, but it'll work. This British one, I saw this and I'm like, wife's back already? Man, that was quick. This one like this is perfect to put something huge like this. It like sits perfect next to it. So I have a feeling that one of these big railgun things almost looks like a shotgun with that thing underneath it. I'm probably going to use that one for it. You can build what you want, yeah. Well, there's points values, and I've got all these cars at 27 points, and it's working really well. Like, you just draw one. You know, and they're all supposed to be balanced, so that's kind of cool. If we put a machine gun here, what kind of skills can this guy? What kind of skills can this? This looks like a vehicle that should have some, like a skill driver, with something that they can do. But we've definitely changed some things because sometimes something comes up and you can't figure out technology. Fender Kiss. This vehicle makes a smash attack. It's -2 attack dice, but everybody's -2 against it as well. Delicate touch is pretty cool. This vehicle ignores the hazard icons on movement templates. Hold on one second. I'm about to have a visitor. Okay. This looks like whiskey. It's not. It's just watered down coffee. All right. Yeah, you can build whatever you want, but I want stuff that looks like what it is. Like, I don't want to put, like, hey, it'd be really cool to put a bomb on here, and then the car doesn't have a bomb. Like, like, I'm not into that, And besides, that's like another modeling opportunity. You want to build something with a bomb, so make a car that has a bomb on it, Yeah, let's do some mental gymnastics here. Let's do some mental gymnastics. Let's make some mental gymnastics. All right, so we have a SB. We'll call this thing SB. We have a performance car, which is 15 points. All right, we want to get to 27. Why? Because that's the magic number. Okay, 15 points. If it was a much larger vehicle, we'd go to a much bigger number, but 15 points for that. It has 2 build slots. We want to give this thing looks like it has, the driver should have some kind of a skill. Some kind of a perk, I should say. Should have a perk. Looks like a perky car. So let's go to the perks. All right. And let's look at the categories and see if this looks to me like any of those things. So, for instance, the first one, I believe this is the first one. Nope. Aggression. Double-barreled, I already have a car that does double-barreled on it. I already have a battle hammer car. I already have a terrifying lunatic. Okay? This doesn't look aggression to me. It doesn't look like an aggression. It also does not look like badass. Okay? You're just finishing off a unit of Italian arquebusier, then switching to sci-fi next week. Your sci-fi 15 mil as well? The one true scale for big. If I didn't do 20s, I mean, this is 20s, I'd do 15s. Badass. That doesn't look like badass to me. It looks like a precision type thing. Built, not built. Daring, maybe. This vehicle may push at any number of times during a single movement step, gaining a hazard token. I will have a car that does that. This thing looks more specialized than that. Slippery. I have a slippery car already. I'm not opposed to having a second one, but this thing looks like it needs to have a skill that only it would have. Handbrake artist, already have one. Evasive, no. Power slide, no. Stunt driver, just built one. Horror, not even gonna look there. We're not doing horror. It's not military. That doesn't look military at all. Precision, maybe. Mr. Fahrenheit, this vehicle cannot gain more than 2 hazard tokens from collisions during a single activation. How would it get more than 2? Moment of glory. Once per game after rolling the skid dice, but before resolving the results, this vehicle may immediately change any number of skid dice to any results they choose. But only once per game. Maybe. Restraint's pretty cool. This happened a lot in this game today. Where this vehicle would gain a hazard token for shifting down. We had a lot of guys that shifted down a gear. This vehicle may remove a hazard token instead. That is handy. So you downshift, and instead of gaining a hazard token from it, you remove one. That's super handy. That doesn't look like what this vehicle would do. Expertise. This vehicle adds 1 to its handling value. That's interesting. That's interesting. That would have a handling then of 5. That's a possibility. Pursuit, we're saving that for the cops. Reckless. Doesn't look reckless to me. Speed, yes. Hot start, it's not the hot start car. Slipstream just built one. Overload. When resolving a skid dice using the movement step, this vehicle may roll one additional skid dice. If it does, it must change up at least one gear or gain a hazard token. Okay. This is the one. Downshift. At the end of a movement step in which this vehicle changed down one or more gears, this vehicle may make a forced move short straight forward. That's handy. And that looks like something that would like. So this guy's going to have downshift. I don't have a downshift yet. Downshift. 3 points. I don't call them cans. It's silly. Delicate touch. This vehicle ignores the hazard icons on movement templates. All right, where are we at on the points here? 15. That's 3. That's 18. Let's look at these funky weapons. I got some funky weapons here. This looks like it needs a funky weapon on it. I have this, which is a combat laser. I also have this chain gun that looks alternative, an alternative looking chain gun. Okay. This crazy thing. This is the thing I'm looking at. This zany thing. Looks like a electromagnetic something or another. You just painted a cobra from Bone Miniatures. That's the one. Are those the ones that come like the miniatures that are like in this color? I just went to a store that had a whole bunch of those, but since I'm not really in the market for them, I kind of didn't take a look at them. But those guys kind of came out of nowhere. They're just the ones I'm thinking of. Oh, look at this combat laser looking thing. It's got this space age shit. That might not be bad. Can we put that on a turret? No, it's too many points on a performance car. It'd be 30. That fits the freaking shape of the car perfectly. I like that. Now the combat laser is really interesting. It has a thing called splash, and basically what it means is anybody within the arc of this and the target gets hit. So if you pick a target way back there, any intervening ones also get hit. What is shock bone? Shock burn. Would you like to sound more cyberpunk, military, or racing inspired speed and performance? More racing performance. Shift burn. Doesn't it have as a downshift? That makes sense. That makes sense. Shift burn makes sense. Okay, so you have something that burns. Fast shifting and tire smoke. Perfect. Okay. Shift burn it is. This is shift burn. Okay, has a downshift skill. It's going to have a combat laser. That's 5 points. That's at 23. And what does that leave? That leaves 4 points. What can we do with 4 points with? We can have that heavy machine gun that you were talking about. Rear-mounted weapons are weird. They're like, sometimes they're useful. You know what? I feel like it needs to have maybe those whatchamacalls that drops off the back end. The flaming stuff. Napalm. I think that would be good. I think that would be good to have a napalm. Now, does it take a build slot? Hopefully it does, because we still have a build slot open. Napalm dropper. Build slot. Cost 1. Okay, so this uses napalm dropper. And that's 1. So now we're at 9, we're at 24. So we're 3 short. We're 3 short. Armor plating, if I wanted to put armor plating, it's too much. Plus I have to change how it looks, and I really don't want to do that. So let's look at another skill. And this is what I do. This is how I come up with this stuff. Well, other than using the chat to figure out what it is. Time extended. At the end of a movement step in which this vehicle passes a race gate, this vehicle may remove any number of hazard tokens. That's also a speed thing. Delicate touch. This vehicle ignores the hazard icons on movement templates. I like delicate touch. It's downshift and delicate touch. Okay, that's shift burn. Okay, let's do her. Let's do her. Now, you want this or this? It's too long. I'm fine with this little take me to your leader little laser type thing. It's futuristic, and it'll make me color match that car, which is an opportunity for greatness. Haven't posted a snake. I could get Reaper miniatures really cheap, like $2 a miniature. I have to be careful because I end up buying boxes of them. Oh, so it's Reaper bones. So it's Reaper miniatures, and they're the bone series. You have a Cobra? All right, let's see if I can find that. Reaper, Bones, Miniatures, Cobra. Is it a giant Cobra? Oh, this thing's cool. If this is it, this is freaking cool. Is it that? That's pretty cool. I was really anti-plastic things. You know, I'm old school, but I'm okay with things being plastic. Because I don't like working with white metal anymore. It's just too difficult to cut, to drill into. Is that it? Is that your giant Cobra? That thing's pretty cool, man. It's usable in this scale too. It's just a really big Cobra. All right, I like this. I want this engine to be seen. This has a cool engine back here. So what's that going to take? We need to take this thing apart. All right, and then it would look like this back here. See if we like the look of that. Man, this is a really tight fit here. Okay, so I would cut this out. I like that being open. I want glass everywhere else. I just don't want glass back here. Makes a great statue. It certainly does. I want the engine to be seen. Okay? So what we're going to do is, at the risk of fucking everything up, let's get my Tamiya cutters. I have to take this in steps. I'm going to remove that. All right, let's go ahead and remove the center portion here. All right, now let's put it together and see how that looks. Come on. Man, it's such a tight fit. I mean, geez, the primer isn't that thick on it. Okay, so you can actually see the engine now. I don't like that. I don't like that. I'm fine with this being there, being left there, but I want these sides cut out. Actually, this is what we're going to do. We're going to use technology to our advantage. Okay, now we take this apart. Oh, that's not it? Oh, okay. Just one of many snakes they make then. Alright, so I'm going to cut along this line here and along this line here. Okay. And then we're going to come across this line. And then same thing, we're going to cut across this. Yeah, and we're going to cut this off the top. Okay, the same thing over on this side. It's holding on by a thread here. That's the ticket. Keep going. This is all junk. Almost done here. I don't have a little saw blade. I probably should. It's got a nice engine down there. It's a shame to just ruin it, not see it. Okay, that actually looks pretty good. Let's remove this. And remove this. Alright, now let's see what we're looking at. And of course this will end up being tinted. Well, if we remove that like that, and remove that like this, you want this on the back because otherwise you're going to see a hole through the bottom where that meets. So we don't want that. There we go. That looks good now. So we have a visible engine. All right, so we're going to need to prime this little laser thingy. All right. And we'll just prime from in there. This glass is fine. You know what? We'll pop this out. Let's get the primer. And this is probably where we're going to stop because we want this stuff to set. So we'll stop, get back to it in the morning. Oh, this is the night that we get an extra hour, so it's actually, well, it's not yet, but it'll actually be 9:30. All right, this is probably good. All right, so I'm going to come in and I want all this to be dark. So we're going to come in like this, color that dark, color this dark. All this is visible. And the laser. I think that was the only part. Yeah. Okay, but we do want I'm going to tint these windows, but the engine back here, we don't want that tinted. So let's go ahead and do, what's this darkest of colors? The Iron Warriors? Let's do the Iron Warriors. I have not used a military shade wash, but I almost picked one up. I went to the store and they did not have strong tone, they did not have dark tone, but they had military wash and they had a green one. And I was going to pick them both up, and I just kind of got ticked off that they didn't have what I wanted. So I was going to buy something that didn't have the same priority, so I decided not to get it. So no, I have not used it, but that's the reason why. Okay, so we're going to dry brush this, and then when we put this on it, it'll already be in that color. And then we're going to sub-assembly this. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're never going to have to take this apart again. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a yeah, let's use strong tone. Let's use dark tone. Let's use dark tone. You got to use tinted windows with these. Oh, you got to use tinted windows with these lasers that are super bright. And I'm going to go ahead and do the black lining too while I'm at it. This guy knocked out in the morning too. Whatever its name is. What did we say? Shift burn? Get that primer away from me. Use it on your snake. Military shade wash. You talking about the one that's the Army Painter brand? Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind doing these vehicles that are like what I would call somebody's unloved toys. And this supposedly came from a Goodwill store. That's all right. We're gonna make somebody feel sorry that they didn't keep it. All right, so this is where we're gonna stop. This is where we're gonna stop here with shift burn, and we'll see you guys on the next one.